Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Padel Pulse podcast powered by TSH Padel. Spicy talk today. Lebron, we asked him to go out and do an interview and show us your side because we talked about Galan. So since we talked about Galan's interview, we decided emergency podcast, let's talk about what Lebron said. And boy, did he have lots to say. Okay, so let's do this. Let's talk a few of the big topics that he talked about. Okay, first one, I want your feedback, Smail. He talked about how Galan left him and that he actually no face-to-face conversation, no man-to-man, mano y mano. It was just text, no talking, and that was it. After 4 years of being the best in the world, what were your thoughts on hearing that?
Really sad, and you would hope that Galan would deal with this breakup in the right way. I thought that's, if it is true what LeBron is saying, and for all intents and purposes,
you think it might not be?
No, I think he's telling the truth, and but maybe there was a call, or I'm not sure. Was there something left out? Because LeBron also was talking about he wanted, like you saying, it should be just a conversation the first day and then a conversation the next day. But for me, why do you need two conversations? You just need one. But yeah, I would hope that after such a long legacy they built together, they're the legends of Padel for me, the top legends of Padel. I would want to see it end on a respectful note, and on a text seems hurtful.
Haroon, how do you feel?
Yeah, like there are multiple factors here. I think we need to take in consideration. Like obviously, they're the Spanish culture. They're used to talking and they're used to being, I would say intimate, but have a close bond with each other. They're very open and not reserved. So I think he expected something like that. Galan didn't show him that, and they didn't really talk about it and share their entire, thought process and why they want to do it. Probably Galan was like, okay, this is just, I'm informing you, rather than we're discussing. And LeBron wanted it to be like, okay, just give me one last chance, let us discuss it. And that's why he was hurt. But I think from Galan's perspective, he's like, this is just me informing you and telling you the news, that we're done. So there's nothing to discuss. He doesn't want to change his mind, and he won't change his mind. But yeah, it's pretty bad, because after being together for that long, you expect them to be, at least giving each other, the chance to try one more time, or let LeBron say his final words. But I guess he didn't get the chance to do so.
Yeah, my conclusion to this is, first of all, I believe LeBron. I think he's a very honest person.
No, I'm not saying I don't believe him.
I think he's very transparent. But he is a very an emotional person also, which means his view of things might be distorted and in a way.
I don't know if it's distorted. I think Galan has his perspective and LeBron has his, and they're both leaving out stuff maybe that for their own betterment, for their own image, and also for the things that they're missing out on.
Yeah, I don't know to me, I feel like with Galan, you look at him, you feel like he's this polished guy, and you see him with Chingoto, he's always positive, he's cheering him on, you feel like he's a classy guy, whether opponents, anything happens, like he's never the guy, apart from what happened, remember, in Vigo Open or Chile Open, where he acted like the match wasn't over, and because remember the umpire made a mistake, but that's another conversation. But to me, I'm like, Galantico, why?
I mean, I think this is the things that we can't understand fully, because I don't know what LeBron did to him to warrant that behavior. Maybe there is something, and there's a reason why Galan decided that to end it in such a way. Like maybe there is a reason.
But he also said like there was no conversation of if you make another mistake, I'm gone. He said like all they did was tell me, be you. Be the best version of yourself, and there was no conversation of, hey, this is your final warning in any way. So to him, it was absolutely out of the blue, and he does regret what he did in Qatar when he with what's his name? With Yanguas and his coach Mieres, and he said like that was a big mistake by me, but he didn't feel like he said there was nothing going on where it was like, okay, if this is my last shot, and if I make a mistake, he's gone. So, but maybe, I don't know. You don't know what's in Galan's head, but I would think the classy thing to do is to face have a conversation. To me, it's not manly. It's not manly to not have a conversation face to face.
It's childlike.
Yeah.
Like, that's what children do. Like, when kids break up with you, like, it's like when two teenagers, one of them wants to break up, they just send the text. That's like kind of like, no disrespect to Gen Z, but this is kind of like a modern Gen Z type of mood. Just you ditch someone by text, you avoid confrontation. Okay, if I wanted to give Galan the benefit of doubt, it would be like, well, maybe he was afraid that LeBron would convince him to stay, and he didn't want to stay. LeBron saying that he had absolutely no idea that Galan was like thinking of leaving him. That one for me was also quite surprising. Like,
no, but they did have a conversation at the end of last year, the year before.
So why is he saying that? Then,
no, but then
unless they didn't talk about the fact that they might separate. So I'm not like, he knew that like at the end of 22, right, or 23. Sorry, he knew that they were thinking like it wasn't clear, and then all right, they decided to renew the partnership. So those signs were there. You can't say that there were no signs.
Yeah.
Maybe there wasn't clear confrontation or discussion about it.
Yeah.
That part might be true, but like they weren't automatically guaranteed to go into 24 together. That's what we knew.
Yeah. Well, Haroon, another big point that actually stuck with me, and I think it stuck with you also, was when LeBron, it all happened in a way where LeBron got injured, remember, in 2023.
Yeah.
And he had that long arm injury. It was a very long arm injury, and he was never back to himself for like maybe 6 to 8 months. Yeah. And he said during that time, Galan didn't even call him once to ask on him. He not once picked up the phone and told him, how are you? How is everything going? Yeah. And he's saying that was the moment he felt the relationship was broken, and that was the moment he said Galan, not just as a partner in Padel, he said as a friend he failed me, and he said that he knew then and there this was broken. It's probably the beginning of the end. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's confirmed kind of, you know, when I touched upon this and I said like I feel like this has been a thing from earlier then. So like before the relationship was fractured a bit, and this kind of confirms it, where if you don't get a call from your partner for several months, like that's obviously a sign that they don't really like you that much. And that means that Galan has probably been hurt or upset with the partnership even a little bit more before that. So and I'm telling you, that's the kind of vibe.
Is that how you deal with the situation, though?
But obviously that's not how you deal with the situation. Like, you should be more transparent and honest, and say that you don't like.
No, not transparent. There was no communication. It's not about transparency and honesty. He wasn't even talking to him. Yeah,
but I think what Haroon means is like, if he is upset, then say you're upset about something. Like, it looks like Galan. It seems that there's a pattern of not confronting LeBron.
To be fair though, you don't know. You also don't know what it's like to be in that relationship. So it's tough to judge people in the relationships. You say you should have done this and that. Yeah, we can. In hindsight, 2020, we can also sit and say, yeah, Galan should have done this. But maybe he was feeling like, if he would have told LeBron, hey, you should have changed this. He didn't believe maybe LeBron was going to change it.
During injury, you can't find the classiness within you, the elegance within you, whatever you want to call it, and like to come out and maybe just check up on him. It makes sense. It would make sense, and because we know they always say the injury journey is very lonely, right? Because you're by yourself, even when you're on a team. But like when you're on a team, for example, you're playing basketball, football, soccer, anything, but the rest of because the season's going on and there's an entire team, and fine, you're on your own, but it's a one-to-one relationship. Like, it's you and him. It's very intimate.
I think
nothing.
That's really sad for me. That's like one of the saddest things.
Especially especially like Galan showing us how Chingoto and brothers, and I come out and I defend him in interviews and all these things. Like, okay, but it's in the tough times and in the good times, right?
Yeah. By the way, I remember when LeBron came back, and they had some matches. I can't remember exactly when, but now I'm recalling like it was a post match interview, on the court, and they're asking them, hey, how was the match and how do you feel of LeBron being back? And Galan said some nice words about LeBron in front of the crowds, like, yeah, it's nice to see the Wolf back at his strength and hitting smashes and being himself more, and the Padel missed him. So like I remember that, and that gave me some good signs. I'm like, oh yeah, that seems like a decent partnership right there, and they seem like to be cool with each other. Like even though
Optics, huh?
but I guess maybe Galan it seems that I don't know, he knows how to, he understands when he's in front of the media and when he's in front of the people and behind the scenes, where his true feelings don't match what he shows publicly. So maybe this is some conspiracy theories.
That's fine.
He's media trained. LeBron's not media trained.
LeBron doesn't care about the media. I think he doesn't care about the media.
He just speaks from the cuff. Like he just goes.
Yeah, but
he wears his emotions on his sleeve.
It's so sad though that Galan didn't ask about him in that period when he was.
You could see he was sad. He was crying.
Yeah,
he was tearing up in the interview.
Yeah, he was really upset about that. It was sad. It was honestly for me so sad, and you could tell that for him was really the moment that broke their relationship. Yeah. I think more than the partnership. I believe him when he says that it hurt him the friendship. Like he genuinely thought they were friends. He said that they changed Padel forever. They did. They did. And this is like why hurt that legacy and that relationship you built with your friend and partner. I was so sad about that, and I don't think LeBron's lying about that. I think Galan, that was immature of him not to ask about LeBron, because even like in a professional setting, if you want to come back and win with LeBron and you're sticking with him because he's your best option, then you still ask about him because you want to win when he comes back. Like it's just win-win for yourself. So to do that, I don't know, is Galan trying to send a message? Is that immaturity from him? He's also still a young man, like maybe didn't know how to deal with his emotions, and it looks like he's not able to confront well. Like he's not able to. So it's upsetting, sad to see. For me, as a fan of this team, this was really, really sad.
Yeah, but another thing we wanted to point out was him talking about what happened in the World Cup. And I just want your brief thoughts on this, because he said he regrets what he did, and he said he decided to patch it up with him because he wanted to win, and he wanted to do it for Spain. He wanted to, like, he had the main goal in mind. And he's saying he's the one who went up to Galan and told him, let's play together. We're the best option. Let's play together. And he's saying Galan was actually surprised that he came up to him and he did that. And he's saying he regrets that, because afterwards Galan came out and said that it was a team decision, and that's why they did it. Thoughts, Haroon?
Yeah.
Haroon, your thoughts?
The arguments now are looking tough to defend. It's tough to defend Galan when
you don't need to defend, just like your thoughts. You don't have to take sides. What were your raw thoughts after hearing this?
Yeah, why? My decision was like, why? Like you can. Why did you have to say that? I don't know why you want. I don't know, remove spotlight from the partnership, and maybe I don't know. He wanted to feel. He was going to feel like he's going to get pressure from people to say, okay, LeBron is, extending an olive branch. He wants to rekindle the relationship and maybe have a partnership later on. Maybe he didn't want to deal with that, but he could have just easily just said, yeah, LeBron asked me, but still I want to be with Chingoto or something. But yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it because LeBron is obviously doing something.
You didn't like it from Galan's side?
I didn't like it from Galan's side, and obviously you like it from LeBron, and especially if I'm a Spanish person, I love it because LeBron is putting his differences aside. He wants he wants the
country. He
wants to do it for his country, for his team, for everybody, and he's uncomfortable doing it himself, obviously, because he felt like he got, broken up. He's the one that was left in the breakup, and now he's going again to ask his ex-partner, hey, come back, let's play, and he's the one chasing, and it feels a little bit humiliating, because you're doing something outside of your comfort zone, and you have to put your ego aside, but everybody appreciates that, and it would have been a nice moment, it would have been a nice moment for everybody on the team to feel like, yeah, okay, we have a team and we're building some chemistry. And now it's reminding me that, like Smail was saying, or what Saif was saying, kind of everybody's playing for themselves. maybe Galan wasn't thinking too much.
But
about
LeBron showing that he wasn't playing for himself, Smile.
Yeah.
This, by the way, did not surprise me at all when he said that. That he's the one that went and told Galan in front of the entire team, "Let's play so we can win," and keeping the main goal. It didn't surprise me at all because, as you remember, when we were watching that World Cup, LeBron always seems to me the most passionate Spanish player on that team, and he's always the most vocal one, cheering every single team that plays. He cares deeply about the World Cup, and he deeply wanted to lift the trophy again for Spain. Like, he was all in. His heart was all in. He was cheering, vocal, supportive for everyone, and he needs to get credit for that. He is the captain of Spain. He's the heart of the Spanish national team. For me, go back and watch that World Cup final, especially against Argentina, go watch that match. Go watch Galan's body language. Galan is timid. He's quiet. He's not vocal. Not to say that he doesn't want it, but his passion, his heart's not there. The same way LeBron's heart is there. LeBron is all in. He threw his ego out the window even after getting broken up with, so Spain can win the title. Galan didn't want to play with him. Like, the fact that Galan didn't approach means that Galan didn't want to play with him. Yeah. And LeBron is the one that said, you know what? Who cares about egos? Let's go win this for Spain. Go watch their match. Galan was his body language was off in that match. And LeBron, despite being the one broken up with, was the better body language, played better. Galan had a very bad match for his standards. So it doesn't surprise me. And this is what I've come to expect from Juan Lebron, especially when it comes to national competitions with the Spanish national team. He's the heart and soul of the Spanish team. He's the de facto captain, in my opinion, of the Spanish team. And it's expected. And also, this does not bode well for the Spanish national team future.
Yeah, that's very well said, by the way, because I agree with you 100%. Juan Lebron, he deserves credit for how he was during the World Cup. And, you know, like, he was trying to match that one person's energy and hunger with the entire Argentinian squad, which was obviously not going to bode well for them.
He was the only person remotely on the same energy level as the Argentinian squad. The Argentinian squad was electric. The chemistry was wild.
Yeah. But, you know, last point here, specifically about this dynamic. Because LeBron said he's still hungry for world number one. He's as hungry as ever and he wants to win. We've agreed that he's not going to do it with Stupa. But
we didn't agree.
After seeing...
Arun doesn't agree.
Yeah.
Arun doesn't
Not yet at least.
Yeah, I don't know how, but sure. But after what we've seen, and LeBron came out and he said, was asked in the interview, did you go back to him? And he said, no, he probably doesn't want to, and I don't want to. But he did say, unless he has to come back to me, and we need to clear up a few things. And if things are cleared up, he said, he didn't put an ending to it, but he said, as it stands now, no. So after this interview and everything that we saw, do you have a different conclusion? Is it Regresso happening, Regresso not happening? Harun.
No, Regresso's not happening. Regresso's not happening anytime soon because, like he said, he's going to have to wait for Galan to come to him, which is most likely never going to happen. Unless, but it's not going to be where it's going to be like, you know, a real threat for world number one. It's going to be something in later stages of their life. In their career, they're going to be maybe 35 plus. Hey, let's rekindle this friendship and relationship and let's play with each other one last dance for the crowds, maybe sell some tickets. But for world number one, no. Although, you know, you do respect it because LeBron is still not closing that door. He's maintaining his dignity because he's saying, I'm not going to go beg for it. I don't really...
Galan didn't close the door either. In a way, he said, remember, he was like, LeBron needs to come and say things to me. Like, they both said the same thing. He needs to come and he needs to fix some things, and then but like, they didn't close the door completely and say, this is never happening again.
There's ego issues. They both have a big ego and they both feel wronged.
Yeah.
And they probably both have the right to feel wronged.
My question is, why does Galan feel wronged other than the thing that he did in Qatar? Why does he feel wronged?
No, but I told you the body language every single match, every time Galan makes a mistake for these past 3-4 years when they were playing together.
You said like he said fine, but then do we believe what Galan says? Because is Galan saying the truth when he's speaking? Because you said, Smail,
Yes.
yourself, like in an interview, he came out and said, like his talking about LeBron's body language and all that. He and Galan said, I know how to get the best out of him. I know how to do this and that. So it's a yin and yang thing. So for 40 years you couldn't bear him, and you just stuck there for 40 years?
I don't think he couldn't bear him, but I think there were things he was starting to get ticked off a bit more. In the beginning, he was obviously felt like he was the more inferior player because LeBron was already world number one. He was coming off with some great stuff. Galan was the up and coming player.
LeBron took him to the mountaintop.
He did.
LeBron took him to the mountaintop.
He did. That's why Galan was putting up with more stuff. He wasn't really flaunting his personality. He didn't feel like I'm gonna start demanding things from LeBron. But little by little, once Galan started to gain more and more confidence, he could feel like, hey, I'm a great player. I'm doing great things for this team, and he doesn't feel like an equal. I feel like if I was Galan, this doesn't feel like an equal partnership. It feels like LeBron is the better one, and he's always taking Galan with him. Hey, come on, LeBron. Come on, Galan. We're gonna go. Come on, Galan. We're gonna go. And it wasn't an equal thing. Every time he makes a mistake, he looks at Galan. Hey, why are you making this mistake? But LeBron would make a mistake. Nobody's holding him accountable as much as when Galan makes a mistake, and that takes a toll on you. So I feel like there's little small micro things that we're putting up for years and years, and LeBron was wronged for one big thing. Hey, all of these small things, you didn't make them clear to me. I was not aware about it, and you made a very big, tremendous, exit that he felt hurt because it kind of dismissed the whole relationship, and Galan was just. He was just putting up with a lot of small things that compounded to be a big thing in the end. So that's my opinion about that.
Okay, well then, we got that. But Smail, you didn't answer me. Regresso, after what you saw, yes, happening, no, not happening.
I don't think so.
No chance whatsoever.
I don't think so. And
but he did say they did revolutionize Padel, so he does know the impact that they both had.
They
together.
For me, they were the most fun brand of Padel. They remain to me to be the most fun brand of Padel I've ever watched, and that's what I missed the most. They also were the only ones capable of challenging Tapia and Coellois. Chingalan are trying, but they're not really their match, right? So I don't think Regresso is happening after this. Like, especially as long as Chingalan is relatively getting results. I don't think it's happening, and all Galan's talk about how he's appreciative of Chingotto and for all purposes, it looks like it's joyful to play against Chingotto. Everyone loves Chingotto, so
play with Chingotto.
Yeah, to play with him. So yeah, sure. It looks like Galan is too happy right now with his rebound, like and LeBron is gonna have to live with it. Like
LeBron's in the abyss right now.
It's sad for me to see because
come on, Ausberger.
Yeah, like it's sad for me because like LeBron's in his prime.
Yeah.
He's in his prime, and the most fun brand of Padel for me is not being played right now.
Yeah. It's funny where the relationship is right now. Remember when he was asked like one word for each player, and then he said Galan, una persona.
Yeah.
Just a person.
What do you think of Galan? Like you saw like yeah. One word answers, Galan is just a person. Like he described like Galan as a person.
Yeah. Well, we did hear the Galan side, remember? And we did a breakdown of what he said. And we heard the LeBron side, and we did a breakdown of what he said. So after taking all the information that we were able to gain, obviously there are things that we do not know between the lines we cannot read because it's not there. But Haroon, after everything that you've seen, and everything that you've heard, and everything that you've thought about and talked about, are you taking LeBron's side or Galan's side after all of this?
It's tough because I was always feeling like, because me becoming a fan of Padel, every time I watch LeBron Galan, like I'm telling you, I feel like something's off. Galan is just so uncomfortable. So I was more on the side of Galan because I felt like I felt it more, and I couldn't understand why he's not getting that. But now with the things that LeBron is saying, it's tough, it's tough. I don't know.
I need you to make it. Come on, tell me. I want you. Give me an answer.
I don't know.
Take a side.
I don't know.
Take a side for the fun of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Take a side.
I don't want to as well, but let's say.
Take a side. Come on. I'm putting you in a corner.
Let's say I'm still taking Galan's side a bit.
Okay.
I'm just slightly. It's messy. It's messy. but I feel like I'm taking Galan's side for now. They both have every right to be upset for certain things, but I guess Galan,
Smile.
I feel for him a bit more.
Smile.
I've been very clear about this since day one. I'm 100% Team LeBron. I'm 100% Team LeBron because Galan broke my heart when he decided to break up this team and the most fun brand of padel.
But outside of that.
No, but it counts
after,
for that. That's
after what you've seen.
No,
and heard.
because you shouldn't break it up like that. You should. Well, it confirms also what I said because. Or it confirms what LeBron said, because LeBron said he didn't see this coming. There were a few signs on the wall, but the way Galan managed this relationship was not mature. It was not like an adult. It was not the way you would expect professional adults to handle. Confront LeBron. Tell him what you're not happy about. If there is something you're not happy about. If it is, like Harun saying, these tiny, small things about bothering, I'm not sure really if that bothers him at all. After 4 years, you should be used to that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's nothing personal, right?
Okay, and then if it is about the fact that he did that Yanguas, the incident with Yanguas and Cut, well, have a conversation about that. Like,
He
deal
apologized
with it. Like,
and he apologized to Yanguas.
Yeah,
and
they
in the World Cup,
apologized.
remember, he laughed about and he actually shared the room with Yanguas.
yeah, exactly. So they patched that up. Like, all those things were patched up. Why are you still claiming to be hurt? Why did you not handle it better? Why did you not ask about when he was injured? Why did you not face him and have at least a phone call, not just a text about breaking up? Like, no, all of these things on top of them destroying the best rivalry we had in Padel and the best brand of Padel. No, Galan was not mature. He's a great player. He's a great player. He must be the most fun player. He was my favorite player. He was my favorite player, Galan, but after that breakup, I could see he did not handle that maturely for me. And yeah, okay, if you can't get along with Juan Lebron because he's a relentless competitor, fine, like confront, deal. But it looks like he could not either handle confronting or he couldn't handle his ego being the one that followed LeBron. Like, he wants to show the world that he can be the one that takes LeBron takes someone to world number one. Like, it's an ego and maturity thing.
Yeah.
I think.
After everything that we've seen over the past year now, right? It's been over a year. I went from being Galan is so classy and he's amazing, and LeBron, he's such a tough character. He's toxic. All that. This is a transformation over a year and a half now. I've become a big Juan Lebron fan. Yeah. Like, I've come to love him, and I love that he's transparent, he's honest.
He's himself.
He's himself. He's 100% Juan Lebron, and he's not faking anything. And that's what I love to see. And he has flaws. Guess what? I have flaws. You have flaws. Everyone has flaws. Galan showed to me that he is media trained, and LeBron showed to me that he's who he is no matter what. And at the end of the day, I think LeBron is actually the classy one here, and he's the man. And I'm becoming a bigger and bigger fan of him. I love Galan, but to me, LeBron showed me his character, by the way, through all this. He showed me who he is as a person and his values, the core values at the end. That he's an honest, he's a transparent, he's a kind-hearted person, he's patriotic, so many things that I love. And I am 100%. To me, it was not, oh my God, this or that. After all this, Juan Lebron to me has been wronged. And Juan Lebron, I cannot wait for him to get back to the mountaintop. And I'm going to be rooting for him 100% to find his way back.
I'm rooting for him. That's why I've been rooting for him. That's why I'm allowing Karburger, one of them, to partner with LeBron, but none of them are allowed to partner with Galan.
One last thing about this one. It has nothing to do with Lebrón-Galán. It had to do with Arturo Coello. When he was asked about best this, best that, he said best mental, Arturo Coello, Ismail. Juan Lebron said that. Thoughts on that?
That was very, very surprising to me because, every coach...
Surprising?
Because every coach we've talked to and every
player
we talk to says Tapia is the best mental, and we're always referring to Tapia's mental.
Yeah.
And Coello doesn't get the credit for the mental. Yeah. But then to hear for me it's so shocking because this is the number one player in the world, or former number one, Juan Lebron. He's saying actually Coello is the top mental player. I was very, very surprised, and when I reflected on it, I'm like, Yeah, well, that's actually a very good point.
But isn't that what we say? Isn't that what we say, Harun? We're always talking about like Coello is the wall that keeps that he's standing there. He holds the fort.
We give him credit for consistent performance, but we don't necessarily relate it to his mental toughness.
But how is that not connected?
They are, but we don't give him credit for mental. We give Tapia credit for mental,
Like he doesn't,
and we give Coello credit for consistency.
But the
actually,
consistency comes from being mentally there 24/7.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying Juan Lebron is probably right.
Yeah.
But we don't give. I didn't give Coello enough credit for being so mentally tough because he's so consistent. Like we take that consistency for granted almost because he's always gonna play at this high level. He's not. Coello rarely dips. Like we just saw in the last tournament in the major, like he had a micro dip and they lost the match. Like he was
if
just.
he falls, it falls.
Yeah, like
he can't. He's not allowed to fall.
Tapia is allowed to fluctuate, and then but we still say Tapia is the mental beast.
Yeah.
But actually, maybe we should say Coello is the beast.
Yeah.
And if Juan Lebron's gonna call him the mental giant, I'm gonna have to believe.
Yeah. Well, the man that played him, God knows how many times, when he says that, you hear it, you believe it, right? Right or not, Harun? Huh?
Yeah. I fully agree, but because also his role on the field. He's more like Bella said. He's the most decisive player on tour. So he makes very quick decisions and he makes very effective decisions as well to put Tapia in a good place. So that for him, he always has to be there. If he dips, it unravels. So it didn't surprise me because I also felt like Coello was not getting enough credit mentally. But yeah, 100% I agree. Like he's a mental giant, of course.
It's nice that Coello gets his flowers in a way because. we said it, but like in a indirect way, right? So it's nice that Juan Lebron is out there and he's saying it face to face that Arturo Coello is the man.
Yeah, he gave him credit. He's also a right side player. Like he's his rival for the best right side player. Like
goes toe to toe with him.
So he gave him his respect.
Yeah.
Like
something I want to say as well. I think Coello might be one of the most mature players on tour. I think he's so much older than his actual age. For him he always gives credit to Tapia. He gives him his flowers. He's fine being the Robin to Tapia's Batman. Like and that's very hard to do, and that causes some ego thing, especially when you keep winning and you think, hey, I deserve more credit, and I'm the one actually doing a lot of work. So he deserves more credit, Coello.
Coello is a fantastic young man, and he deserves all the respect.
Big fan of him.
And flowers he gets.
Yeah. I love their dynamic, him and Tapia also. Like he's so humble. He's so humble.
Yeah.
You know, to bow down to Tapia, and he's just.
He's very wise. He's very wise. This guy.
He's extremely humble though.
Yeah.
He's willing to let Tapia take the stand, even though it's like, but I'm the king, by the way. They call me King Arturo.
And he's King Arturo because he's the most successful player in Premier Padel.
Yeah, he has the most majors. He's the world number one the longest. Like he's
the most successful Premier
Can you
Padel
like
player.
he's actually underrated. He is.
Yeah.
And that's a conversation for another day, and I would love to get into that.
Yeah. I definitely I'm going to take accountability here. I don't give Coello enough credit, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, we will and we should.
Yeah.
Well, Valladolid is happening, guys, coming up, and building on the Lebrón-Galán talk, they are back in the same side of the draw. You know, when they're on the other side, Coello and Tapia are probably going to spoil that party, but we are going to get them probably in the semifinals against each other. Do you think there's a chance this goes the other way, or it's going to be complete dominance Galántico?
No, I think they're closing in. They're playing them better and better. Last time it went to a final set. They're closing in. Lebron is when the interviewer, by the way, asked him like, what are you best at? He said like Padel. I was the best for 4 years. I was like at Padel.
Most talented also.
Yeah, and he was and he's the best Padel mind, in my opinion, and he's gonna figure them out at some point, so they'll get one. It's
even next with Stupa next to them. You said they can get one, right?
They can get one.
Yeah.
I think he'll get one. So.
It would be nice to see him get he needs to get one against Galan. He needs one. He needs one for himself. He needs one for. We need one for Padel, by the way.
Yeah, we need one for Padel. He's not gonna be able to consistently get them, I think, with Stupa, but I think he'll get one.
Well, Haroon,
may I
do you think
remind you?
this changes?
May I remind you? You also said the same thing with Chingoto. With Chingoto is gonna be able to take down Coelho Tapia with Chingoto. With Chingoto with Stupa. So don't make that same mistake again. And you're gonna anger.
It took
1 and 9 in the
times.
past.
You're gonna anger them.
Chingalan
You're
10 times.
One-
Chingalan 10 times.
So you're this is the Dumb and Dumber meme. So you think there's a chance 1 out of 10 you're gonna live on that? You're gonna live on that island? You
was a
think that's
major.
a success?
It was a major. They won a major. They won a major. So
Okay.
don't be surprised if LeBron and Stupa win a major.
I would be. I'm rooting for them.
Okay. Well, you think
Are
there's
you
a chance?
are you rooting for them?
I root for LeBron. Yeah, I root for LeBron.
It would be nice to see. By last episode, you guys should check that one out. But we did say, me and you, Smile, we said they're gonna at least get one. Haroon's. Did you said they won't get one?
They won't get one.
But you're changing now.
I'm changing my. If I think LeBron is.
You're
too
changing
smart.
after the interview. This might be emotional.
Yeah, I think because there's more on the line for him and there's pride and dignity.
Yeah.
I think that will motivate him to like he'll be up all night thinking about how I can get one.
Okay.
They could
Well,
win the Barcelona Masters, you know, like that's always very tricky. That tournament.
Yeah, that's true. Barcelona's always like very up in the air.
Do want to move on to the next point, but last thing, are you guys changing your picks? Or are we sticking with the picks?
Nah, I'm sticking with my picks.
Changing anything, Haroon? Do you want to change? Last chance.
Actually,
I would say don't change. Come on, stick with it.
you know, because I saw the draw.
Remind the people who you picked.
I picked Carburga, I picked Leo Osberger and Pablo Cardona. I picked them to win this tournament. But then I
we
saw
had
that
Coelho Tapia.
Coelho was gonna play his brother, and I feel like it's gonna be embarrassing if you have to beat your brother and then you're gonna lose at some point. So you're gonna have to be so mentally tough to win this because it's gonna be like. I took
His
out my
brother
brother.
has to win his first match, though.
Okay, his brother's gonna have to win his first match. But if he faces his brother,
Come on, stick with your pick, man.
then it's gonna feel like I took down my brother and I didn't win the tournament. It's gonna be as a brother, it's gonna be tough. But
So you're
fine. I'm going with Carburger. I'm sticking with Carburger.
Well, by the way, I do deserve credit because I was the first person to go out on a limb and pick Carburger to win a tournament.
Yeah.
You
And
did.
then that began to become a thing. Well, that was fun. That was interesting. We can't wait to see what happens Valladolid. It's going to be so much fun. I love seeing Coelho back home. But last question I do want to ask, and this is the conversation that we've been having, and Haroon, we touched on this before. And let's do one. Let's do one for the road. Buying or selling. Major finals must be best of 5 sets. Are you buying or selling?
100%. I'm buying at the moment. The majors as a whole lack aura. Like, there's this Italy major, and we're talking about who has the most majors and Coelho. What makes a major different than a P2? What makes a major different than FIP bronze? Like, are we serious right now? There's absolutely no difference. Where's the glory? Like, when you keep track of majors in tennis, it's because you have to win 7 best of 5 matches, and you have to be the most fit. You have to be the most mentally tough. You have to do it over a long period of time. You have to go through the best champions. There are epic comebacks that happen along the way. At least let us see that in the finals. My opinion is majors should be best of 5, period, all throughout the tournament. But if you want me to about this, yes, at least for the finals, they must be best of 5. Can you imagine? If you're watching Coelho Tapia against Galan in a best of 5.
Imagine seeing a final where it's a 2-sets-to-love and they come back and win it or it goes to 5.
Exactly. Imagine how much more you would favor Lebron Stupa in a best of 5.
'Cause of the
Because you know
fitness.
they're the more fit team and that they can go all day. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you favor them more against Coelho Tapia?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you favor them more against Galan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's a lot of interesting storylines we don't get to see when we're not in a best of 5 situation. And 100% should be best of 5.
Haroon, are you buying or selling this?
I'm buying 100%, but I don't know if it's gonna happen anytime soon because I feel like it's
Which is
almost,
a shame, right?
Yeah, it's
a
almost
shame.
like a completely different sport though because you're gonna have to take into consideration endurance and more consistency, and I think it's gonna affect the way they play. I think we're gonna see more consistent paddle rather than more explosive paddle, which is gonna be sad in a way. But I think the final at least should be best of 5.
You know, but like I come to think of it like, okay, first in the beginning I said no, because I think they're going to be spent, and because of the constant rallies, you have no free points, right? There's in tennis, for example, you have the serve and the points over. You could have a game that finishes so fast. Padel, rarely games finish as fast, right? But then, like, and then they're going to smash like someone like Galan, someone like Coellois. They're going to have to smash so much by the end they have no legs. But tennis players serve every single point. Like, they serve every single point, which is the same amount of effort. If anything, it requires more because they go off a toss. They don't go off a ball that's coming that gives them the power. So I would say, to me, especially after what we imagine if the Roland Garros final last week was a best of 3 sets. We were going to be robbed of one of the greatest tennis matches we have seen in our lifetime.
Yeah, you would have just seen Yannick Sinner pummel Carlos Alcaraz in 2 sets, and that's it. Night, sleep tight.
Exactly, and I'm 100% with your point. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, when we're covering, like, this is a major, this is a P2, this is a P1, all focus here, but like, and then you tell me, what's the difference? I don't have an answer.
There is no
I
difference.
don't have an answer.
That's the answer.
Oh, bigger draw. Bigger draw. It's one match, it's like one extra match. And like, I can't, and their buys, like, I can't identify the difference, and maybe majors should have their own branding. There should be something there, like, make me feel like this is something unique, and I don't feel that in any way. And if they want to have the majors to become something unique, but like, really, Coellois won 7 majors, right? But like, it's no different than if someone else won 7 P2s.
No, there's absolutely no
like
difference.
It's not like, oh, this has more weight. It doesn't. It doesn't.
We should not be looking at majors until they change the format.
It's just tournament wins.
Yeah, it's just tournament wins. Like, it makes no difference.
Not exactly P2s, like P1s.
No, it's.
But what's the difference, Harun? Like, I'm really asking the question.
I have a question for you. How much, like, how often are Coellois Tapia or Galan or any of the top 8 seeds really spending much energy before the quarterfinal? Like, are there matches? These matches
once every blue moon.
Like, these matches,
Esbri and whatever.
Yeah,
or if you get Karburger early on.
Yeah, like they win these matches in less than 1 hour and a half, usually every time.
Less than an hour sometimes.
Less than an hour. So like, what energy is being spent?
Yeah.
What fitness?
And we saw, by the way, didn't we see in Buenos Aires they played 2 matches in a day?
Yeah.
So they went, which is longer than a best of 5 sets match.
You could argue, yeah.
If someone played, if you
sets,
went final set.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, like, I don't understand why we're having this discussion. The top seeds, they don't spend much energy before the semis anyways.
Yeah.
Like, they're spending such little energy. So it's killing the competition. It's killing the vibe of the majors. And until Premier Padel does something about majors are going to continue to lack aura, and they're going to continue to lack attention. Like, why would you pay more attention to the major?
Yeah.
We know in Grand Slams and tennis, it is everything.
It's just the points, and the points don't really mean much to the
like,
fan.
It's like, yeah, it's not about so tennis majors. The whole world is watching, the whole world, because it's a great event. It's amazing. It's arguably the best sporting event that happens every year.
Yeah.
So Padel needs to create
its
own glories. Like,
and each tournament has to be its own brand. Like, fine, do the same thing. Like, make Roland Garros, make it that. Give them a proper, also the trophy, like Coupe de Mousquetaire, like the same thing. I don't know, but like, there's nothing unique. It's. I don't know.
It starts with the best of 5,
yeah,
and then everything else comes to follow. But it starts with the best of 5.
Well, Harun, you said you can't find the difference between the P1s. Like, you said there's a difference between the P2s. You said we can say the same about P1s. But why can't we say the same about P2s?
Yeah, because P2s, P2s, not all of the top players are playing them. And sometimes they say, okay, I'm going to rest at this period. So,
but rarely, because it's not like they're...
Because doesn't want
unlike tennis, you have ATP 250s, for example, 3 at the same time, so they're dispersed, or 500s, they're dispersed in 2 tournaments. But when it comes to this, they all only have 1 tournament to play, so they're always there.
No, but you saw, for example, the new Giza tournament, the one in Egypt. The top, what was the top seed? Stupa and Yanguas, like that. So that was the top. That was the top team.
Isn't that like a rare case?
I think, but yeah, I don't think it's rare. I think it's like sometimes tournaments like Bordeaux.
Recently,
I don't think a lot of people are gonna go,
Everyone's playing Bordeaux.
Last year, not a lot of teams played Bordeaux. It was.
I know, but like, you can identify, like, it was that one. It was the one in Finland. It was the one in Egypt. But like, other than those, like, those are 3 tournaments. But the rest of the P2s, I don't like this. As a person who loves paddle and wants the sport to grow, you need to change something.
Yeah, but I think that needs to change, which is I believe is slowly changing, is the competition. So the majors is not that it's only a best of 5; it's that it's an open tournament where you have more competition and more people coming from all over the world. Where you're playing a first round match against where Nadal gets to play Kyrgios. So this young talent that's coming to play, or players that are not high up in their ranks but are from different places all over the world that can come and compete. I think it's slowly becoming that, and the competition is not so consistent. Every single time the same 8 teams play. It's starting to change. More and more younger talent are playing with more and more athletic.
I'm gonna push back on that one, Arun, because they do offer wild cards for local teams and stuff, and the paddle pool of competitive top level players is not that deep. So like
but
we
that's
already
because
have
of it's
the
a new
best
sport.
competition. There are no players that would be great in a major in paddle that are not playing. Everyone who is good at paddle is playing.
Yeah, right now.
No, you need.
So like
you
there's no Kyrgios that's not is being excluded from the major in paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because that's.
You need amazing storylines. If you wanna grow, if you want global attention, you need to have crazy storylines. And then the conversation of, oh my God, did you see this thing that just happened in paddle? First of all, what's paddle? And these guys, they came back from 3 match points down, and they came back from 2 sets to love down, and they won the match, and they won it in 5 hours. And that's what people love, stories.
Yeah.
How great of a story can I make from a 3-set match?
Perfect use of point, because think about the first rounds in any major. The best stories are the 5-set comebacks, right?
Exactly.
Whoever comes back from 2 sets down. That would at least, like the worst case, if they made the whole major, right? So besides finals, but if you go, the whole tournament is best of 5. All of a sudden you have all these first round matchups that are so exciting, and you're going to see a lot of comebacks happen from 2 sets down. And those are brilliant stories. You get to prove who's more clutch. You get to see new things happen. New players will rise. So why not go to this best of 5 format?
Yeah. Well, that's what we think. We want to know what you think also. Are you buying or selling majors best of 5 sets? Yes or no? Anything else you guys want to add?
No. Keep in touch, and we'll continue this conversation next week.
Yeah. Valladolid coming up. We're going to have so much fun watching that. We'll be back talking about this, so do not go anywhere, and see you guys next week. And before you go, subscribe, please. It's going to make a difference.
And go check out our interviews with Coach Nacho Porto and Christian Murphy. We had so many interesting insights for them about the sport of paddle, the different styles of play. You're really going to enjoy it a lot.
Vamos, vamos, vamos!